Hey guys, it's Rellik here again. Now, I know you're expecting the next music review, but it's taking a lot longer to film and edit than I thought it would. But I promise you guys a video every week, and that's what I'm going to deliver. So today I want to talk about something that's passionate for me, and that is anime. And I've just lost half my audience. But regardless of your opinion on it, be it strong or against, strongly for or against, if you're of a certain age, there is no way you could have grown up avoiding the subject. As such, here's my top 7 favourite anime. Why top 7? Because honestly, the 10, 9 and 8 positions often fluctuate depending on my mood or anything I've recently seen that might remind me of something else, but these 7 remain a constant. There'll be some in here you've not seen, there'll be some wildcard choices, and there'll be some obvious choices thrown in as well. But check it out, and just remember before you flame me, this isn't an all-time list, this is just simply my personal favourites. So I hope you enjoy the show. Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0. This is a much darker slant on the tale, featuring a more demonic vision of the Pharaoh as a kind of sadistic ghost of vengeance. Sure, he only punishes wrongdoers, bullies, vain teachers, and even a documentary director, but he forces them into horrific penalty games where losing doesn't mean death, but a fate usually much, much worse, and often bitterly ironic. Toei Animation produced this brief 27-episode version based on the first manga stories, and a short movie to go with it. I wish I had done more with it though. But what we have is pure gold, and it's worth watching for anybody with a remote interest in children's card games. It's a testament to the staying power of the concept and franchise that it remains so marketable and popular to this day, with 5 iterations available in anime form. The game may be my first magic, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0 is definitely worth checking out. Cyber City Oedo 808. A tale of cyberpunk criminals. Son Goku, the foul-mouthed street punk. Gogol, ex-boxer turned hacker. And Benton, the cross-dressing ninja assassin, forced to work for the law to avoid prison sentences. This is a glorious work from Madhouse, a studio famed for its stylistic, even for anime, approach, and whose most recent work was on the Marvel anime series, but are perhaps best known for their work on the likes of Trigun and even Death Note. I love everything about this show. Its art, the animation, the script, the setting, and yes, even the dub. Lest we forget Manga Corp UK's overuse of the insult cocksucker. What this show lacks in finesse and subtlety, it more than makes up for in just raw, fist-pumping awesome. Even the theme song has tones of a Bonnie Tyler ballad, and you could imagine it being a Jim Steinman composition. Cyber City Oedo 808 oozes quality from its every pore. It's like an ultra-violent B-movie Blade Runner in the way it draws you into the hyper-reality it creates for itself. This is a piece of anime history, and you should check it out, even if you are a cross-dressing ninja. Three by Three Eyes. This was the very first anime I saw that wasn't butchered by Americans. I still remember the day I saw it, coming home to find the last part of the first episode featuring the main character having his innards torn out by demons. This was the coolest thing I had ever seen as a 9-year-old boy. I begged my mum for nearly a week to let me watch it. Eventually she relented, and when she saw I wasn't disturbed by the violence, even recorded the rest of the episodes off of Channel 4 for me, because this was shown at 2 AM every Thursday. I miss those days. The tale of Pai de Sanjian and Hakumo her immortal Wu, it has more than its fair share of disturbing moments, and in my early days of comic creating was perhaps the biggest influence on me, both in writing, design and style. It still holds up today, and I wish there was more of it to enjoy, or it was easier to get hold of. But if you can find it, and are a fan of supernatural action shows, such as Yu Yu Hakusho and Bleach, then this is a must-see for you. Neon Genesis Evangelion. It was a tough choice of which Gainax show to put here, between this and Fooly Cooly, but in the end, it had to be this titanic juggernaut of a show. I think it's safe to assume you've all at least heard of this show, but for those of you who haven't, I suggest you stop watching this countdown and go see it now. Go on, I'm not carrying on until you have. Good. The story of Shinji Ikari's ascent to godhood, depending on how you interpret the ending, is full of wacky, zany, typical mecha show fun, but grows gradually darker and darker and delves into the depths of sanity, the soul and the self. It's beautiful to look at and elicits some of the most vitriolic responses from fans I have ever seen, with the head of production receiving death threats and the phrase Gainax ending being born because of how this show finished. Is the ending that bad? I wouldn't say so, but watch yourself and find out, even if Shinji is nothing but a huge crybaby emo bitch. Bastard! Yes, you have to say it like that, with the 2 exclamation points at the end. This show is hilarious. Not only is it a heavy metal dark fantasy, but also it deconstructs a lot of the anime action tropes. It's self-aware, but played straight. If I had to compare this to anything, it would probably be the Airplane of anime. But it's never hateful in its deconstruction, and it revels in the world it creates, be it the towns of Metricana and White Osnaki, or the use of spells such as Megadeth. If you're a fan of power metal, this is the anime you should have seen and should always be watching. Dark Schneider is the ultimate power trip fantasy hero for those of us D&D geeks who love to get caught in the mosh.
You believe there's no way anyone is good enough to beat you? Do you really?
King of Bandit Jing is a wonderful work comprising of a 13-episode anime, a 3-episode OVA, a 6-book manga, and a 7-book sequel to that manga. And me oh my, I love Yuichi Kumakura's work. He is one of those artists where even when his writing isn't at its strongest, he's expert at drawing you into his world. This is like Labyrinth or Dark Crystal, but with more booze. Jing is the eponymous king of bandits, so famed for being able to steal anything, be it rare jewels or even time itself, and often doing so in the most unassuming ways possible. That said, when it's time to get serious, there is always a palpable sense of danger, and that's hard to pull off in a show about a character with near godlike intellect and luck. Armed with his Palkia, they are a deadly duo in combat and provide a good heart for the show. So grab yourself a K Royale and settle down for some fun. Tenchi Muyo. This show is everything. It has one of the strongest romance plots of any anime ever. It's a harem show without the balllessness of some similar concepts. There are only ever two contenders for Tenchi's love though, the rambunctious Ryoko and the haughty Ayeka, and you could very easily see him ending up with either. But it's not just that. This show is also action heavy, featuring sword fights with demigods, supernatural powers, and one of the greatest spaceships of all time. Characters like the mad scientist Washu and the super, oh my, is she fine, Mihoshi, offer a brilliant counterbalance with their comedy. Sasami is the perfect little sister character, but still plays a big part in the plot. And this is why it's great. Often with ensemble pieces, a lot of characters miss out on development and never get to shine. In this show, everyone has their moment and a full character arc. This is the perfect anime. It spawned several sequels, but for my money the only one of worth is Tenchi Universe. Muyo is the best at what he does because it's so pure in its vision. If you have not seen this show, hand in your nerd card until you have. This is not only a brilliant show, but it is a must-see show for everybody.